Here we have an iPhone 8 Plus that came in for data recovery. Customer spilled water on it and he brought it in for the sake of data recovery. He does not care about the phone. He has a lot of pictures that he wants recovered from the phone. So I already took the motherboard out to save time, and we're gonna inspect the motherboard under the microscope. So let's start from here. I have not done any work on this phone yet, but we're gonna do it together. I do see some signs of corrosion right here. And this capacitor is gone. This capacitor is not good. So that's the first thing that we see here. A lot of liquid damage on this part of the board. There was a black shield on here. I removed it to save time. I have not done any measurements yet, but this part looks clean. I do not see any signs of liquid damage on this area of the board. Okay, so far so good. The only damage I see is on the top here. This cap can prevent the board from turning on. Okay, we do see the red flag here. So water came in contact with this area of the board. Let's remove this. And nothing obvious. Okay, I'm just trying to see if there's anything obvious that we need to look into. I mean, it looks clean. The area looks good. Okay, so nothing obvious to look into here. And let's look down this area here. Yeah, it was definitely put in rice because we do see the bits and pieces. Look at this. Rice is a bad idea because it helps with the oxidation. Board will corrode much faster when using rice or hair dryer or whatever the case may be. Just twirl, 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 and done. Looks good. So the only problematic area on the board is this area here. Most likely this cap and this cap. That's all I see. Without looking at a circuit diagram, without looking at a board view, without even caring what those components do, I'm going to start by removing this component here. We're going to put the board in a board holder so it doesn't wobble. Now when the phone came in, I tried it. It was charging at 0 amps, so no charge at all. Phone would not power on. I should have done that before I removed this capacitor. So that's one, and it looks like we also have another bad one right here. I do not know if this one, let's see if we can test it. Meter in diode mode, red probe on ground, and I do not know, we cannot test this area of the capacitor. Let me also remove this capacitor. Okay. I'm almost 90% sure this one is going to work. Even if I do not know what line those capacitors are on, they look bad, they have to go. Let's go ahead and plug the phone into power and see if we have good news. Okay, so I connected the charging port of the phone itself on here. I'm assuming the charging port is good. And I have a new battery here that we're going to connect, and I have a new screen that we're going to connect as well. And let's see. So this is a premium high quality battery. And this is a premium high quality screen. So let's connect the screen first, then we'll connect the battery. Okay, so we have a new screen, we have a new battery, we are using the charging port, we are using the charging port of the phone itself. I do not see any liquid damage on the charging port part of the phone, so let's see. And all I have to do is plug this in the power and see. Plug the charging cable in. Yes, it's working. It's working. I do not have the power button flex cable plugged in, and I do not have the home button plugged in, so we have to plug and unplug the charging cable. Okay, so what happened? I do not care if the phone is fully working or not, as long as we can back up the data for the customer. Okay, the battery was loose. That's why it restarted. Unless there's something else wrong with the phone, but that's a very good first step that the phone turned on. Yes, it's working. It's working. So just like I thought, removing those two bad looking capacitors did turn the phone on. Now, if it was anything else other than capacitors, we cannot just remove the parts and not replace them. But these are bypass capacitors and the phone will work without them. What I'm going to do is attempt to give this phone to the customer in a working condition. We're gonna do an ultrasonic on it in case there's anything that needs to be cleaned. We're gonna replace the components, and if that phone fully works, great. If it doesn't work, then it's not a problem. Customer brought this in for data recovery. What basically solved the problem is that big capacitor that we removed. It's on the VDD main line. Now, I did not test if that component is shorted to ground. I did not test this phone under a thermal cam. We did not open a board diagram. We did not open a circuit diagram. All we did was visual inspection. I did not waste time trying to do any measurements. I just took the capacitors out. I tried the phone and it worked. So that's what I do to try to be as efficient as possible without wasting too much time. Now, if I remove those two capacitors and the problem is still not solved, then the next step would be to check the phone under a thermal cam to see if there's any short of any type anywhere on the phone. If that doesn't work, then I'll start to do some measurements, open up the circuit diagram, the board diagram, and take it from there. So I'm glad everything worked out. We're gonna start backing the information out for the customer. Even though the phone is working, customer can do it on his own. But I do not want to take any chances. I want to back it up. And I'm gonna attempt to give this phone back to the customer in a working condition so he gets the good of both worlds. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and we'll do something else in the next video.